and the International Union for Conservation of Nature has it on its red list of threatened species."
"Is it a rodent?" the photographer asked. From the way she wrinkled her nose slightly, I deduced she had scant sympathy for endangered rodents.
"A reptile. To be precise, a lizard about this big."
Grandfather held his thumb and forefinger about 3 inches apart. I could tell by the photographer's expression that reptiles were not an improvement over rodents. If the Bermuda Tourism Authority were listening in, they'd probably worry that Grandfather was undermining their promotion efforts.
"The Bermuda skink is threatened by habitat destruction, of course, and predation from introduced mammals like cats and rats. But oddly enough, one of the biggest threats to their survival is litter."
"Litter?" the reporter asked, thus saving me from having to.
"Many small lizards have friction pads on their feet that let them stick to surfaces they walk on, but Bermuda skinks have tiny claws instead. So if they crawl into an empty glass jar or a discarded soda can, something with a slick interior surface, they can't get out again. They starve or die of heat stress or dehydration."
Was he serious? Probably. Damn him. I could see that once I got to the island, instead of relaxing and enjoying the scenery, I'd be restlessly scanning my surroundings for stray jars and soda cans that might contain forlorn Bermuda skinks in need of rescue. "Can you face that way for a few minutes?" The photographer pointed to the right. "At the moment the sun is at your back and it's almost impossible to get a good shot." Grandfather obliged and lifted his head, assuming the triumphant pose he usually reserved for that moment in his documentaries when he succeeded in rescuing something, or at least not getting eaten by something. The photographer began to click in double time.
"How dreadful!"
came a voice from behind me.
"Even here I can't get away from those ghastly paparazzi."
I turned to see an older red-haired woman in a billowing orange floor-length caftan, holding a matching orange paper parasol. She was an imposing figure, only an inch or so shorter than my 5'10", and while the caftan flowed rather than clung, I could tell she wasn't particularly skinny, but not fat either. Stately. Her deep red, almost maroon hair clashed with the color of the caftan. If I were her, I'd have chosen a different dress, or a different and more plausible hair color. Maybe she thought the garish red roses painted on the parasol tied the whole ensemble together. The photographer had stopped clicking her camera, and Grandfather looked annoyed. The reporter was staring at the caftan lady with a frown on his face, as if trying to figure out who she was. The photographer was watching the reporter, no doubt waiting for him to indicate whether she should aim her lens at the new arrival or go back to Grandfather. The woman, the diva, as I mentally dubbed her, looked at me with an expression I recognized, the look of someone who is accustomed to having minions do her bidding and thinks she's found a promising one.
"Is it the New York Times? The Washington Post?"
Her voice was high, rather affected, and pitched so loud I was sure people on the next pier could hear her.
"Well, it doesn't really matter. Shoo them away for me, will you?"
All the while she was standing up straight and holding her parasol at an angle that did more to frame her face for the photographer than to protect her from the sun. "It's the Baltimore Sun," I explained, "and I think they're here to interview Dr. Blake. Dr. Montgomery Blake. The naturalist," I added, seeing the puzzled look on her face. "The one who's giving lectures on the cruise?"
"Of all the... Humph!"
She strode off, looking highly indignant. The reporter and the photographer were looking at me expectantly. I shrugged to indicate that I had no idea who she was. They turned their attention back to Grandfather.